Her Excellency, you have a vast diplomatic experience. You have been ambassador in Poland and now you are High Commissioner of Canada in Pakistan. Did you find Pakistan different from other countries?
You know what I've been most moved by here is the diversity of the country. I've traveled from north to south, from east to west, and everywhere you go, the clothing is different, the dances are different, the food is different, the faces are different. And I've really enjoyed that cultural diversity. And I don't think many countries have that much diversity in the country.
Which culture, which dance you like the most?
I think I have spent a lot of time in Chitral, and I think that because I'm a northern girl, I think that being in a northern place is good for me. So with the skating up there and the warmth, and we have had very good food up north in Chitral. So I think I'll say that the north, Chitral is probably...
I know that you are a graduate in journalism. And your father was a journalist. Your many relatives are in journalism. And how a journalist became a diplomat?
Well, in journalism to me is something that is applicable to any field. You learn how to have a good conversation, you learn how to analyze, you learn how to do research, you learn how to dig into things, and you learn how to express yourself. So for me, when I decided to enter the Foreign Service, I really enjoy international. I like living abroad. I like dealing with issues. And for me, journalism, I worked as a journalist, not for very long, but for me, the excitement of traveling overseas and serving in different countries and learning different languages, that really made me want to go into diplomacy.
But we know that journalists are very sharp-tongued, sometimes critical as well, but diplomats are always diplomatic.
But in both cases, you have to have the facts, and you have to go into any situation very informed. And I think that as a diplomat, when I'm speaking to Canada, I'm very frank because I have to explain Pakistan to Canada. And when I'm here, I have to be more diplomatic in my interactions publicly. But we have a very good relationship with the authorities in Pakistan, and we can have very frank conversations as well.
Ma'am, I have met many persons in my life because of my journalistic career. Similarly, diplomats go to every country and they learn new things wherever they go. Do you think that your personality in Canada was different and now it has changed?
Well, that's a funny question. I was in Japan for 6 years. I speak Japanese, and my mother came to visit me when I first went to Japan. And she said that when I answered the telephone, you know, in Japanese you say mushi mushi, a woman says mushi mushi when they answer the phone. She said your whole body became very small. And you said, mushi mushi, and your voice went up. And I think everywhere we go, we adapt to local circumstances, of course. So I think I'm probably different. I probably speak more quickly when I'm home in Canada than I do when I'm here. I probably am more composed here because I'm representing Canada, whereas when I'm home, it's personal, you're with family and friends. But I'm not sure I've changed fundamentally. I'm probably pretty similar, no matter where I am.
Do you think sometimes to go back to journalism?
No, I have no interest in going back to journalism. It's a tough sector. It's hard to keep a good job in journalism, and it's so important to a democracy to have a robust journalism. So I feel like the media is such an important component to a modern democracy. But I personally not sure I'm up to the challenge anymore.
You speak French, you speak English, you speak Spanish, and you also know Japanese. Have you tried for Urdu?
I did a little bit of Urdu study before I came, but when you're going out as an ambassador, everything's top secret, so it's hard to train on something. And then you get here and life is just so busy. When I give a speech, I always include some Urdu in my speech, but I don't speak Urdu.
Whatever.
Well, I mean, I would say, depending on what the speech is about, I would always start with Assalamu alaikum, of course, but somewhere in the speech, I'll say something that refers to the topic in Urdu out of respect for the people I'm speaking to.
I know Canada and personally you are very interested in human rights and women's rights. And Pakistanis are also learning these ideas and are trying to practice them. But how would you advise us to improve this condition?
I think an important thing is visibility. I think having visible women in leadership is very important. And last year, that's why I wanted, for the first time ever in Pakistan, to do Ambassador for a Day, for example.
She's a Pakistani girl you have selected?
Last year, we had a girl from Chitral, and she was the first time any embassy had ever done Ambassador for a Day. It was Canada's initiative. And it gave her the visibility. She met leading Pakistani politicians. She met women-led UN agencies. She had a very rich day of meeting women in leadership. And we have an active group of women ambassadors in Pakistan. And this year we decided we would approach the other embassies to see if anybody else wanted to join us in this initiative to give profile to women in leadership. So we have a group of embassies this year, a much bigger group of ambassadors for a day. But we work with all kinds of different areas in women's empowerment. We do in women's empowerment through sport. We support women in economic development. We support women in the political process, not just as candidates, but also supporting the political process by supporting candidates. So our programming, Canada's development programming, humanitarian programming, is a feminist foreign policy, feminist international assistance program. So everything we do is through the lens of women and girl empowerment.
Climate change is a new phenomenon, and Pakistan is hit the most by this. How Canada and Pakistan can work together on this climate change?
Canada was very quick to respond in the light of the floods in 2022. We provided $58 million worth of assistance for mitigating and rebuilding after the floods. I think that our best support to Pakistan is helping with capacity development to help Pakistan consider what's best for Pakistan for mitigating and adapting. So we do a lot of work with communities all around the country. I think of examples in Sindh, examples up in Chitral, where we're working with passive solar greenhouses, or we're working with hydroelectricity. We have Canadian investment down near Karachi, JCM Power, and that's wind turbine investment. So giving advice to Pakistan, I think the question is the government has to make good infrastructure decisions, because climate impacts are real in Pakistan, but the government has a role as well as the international community in supporting Pakistan as it makes decisions on investment and infrastructure. Things like landslides on the Karakoram Highway. Walls have to be stabilized, because a lot of the people who live up north, they need the wood to keep their houses heated, so the hills get deforested. So the government obviously has to focus in on infrastructure, but I think for Canada, capacity development and helping rebuild is a priority for us.
I know you are the most sincere and good friend of Pakistan. Have you faced any difficulties while being posted here?
I have not faced any difficulties being here, no. It's a fascinating place, and I eat Pakistani food every day for lunch, and I talk about it on social media. I've traveled so much and really enjoyed that.
Is this Pakistani dress you are wearing?
This is Pakistani, yes. I have several of these. I think they're just gorgeous. I really am enjoying my time here, and the travel especially.
Which area of the country you bought them?
I bought this at Beirut. It's all handmade here in Islamabad. But I have clothes from all over the place, and our food. Last year at the Ambassador for a Day, we did Pakistani Canadian food fusion, and we had 6 different items on the menu, and the one item that won was Nihari poutine. So it was Canadian poutine with Nihari sauce on top. Very, very popular. So yes, I'm enjoying Pakistan very much.
You are wearing black rings.
That's a sapphire. It's from Sri Lanka.
You like stones?
I do like stones. Yeah, that was my wedding. But this jewelry is from Pakistan, and the earrings are.
Do stones affect the life of the persons?
I have no idea about. I've seen where stones are produced up north in some communities, and it's obviously a source of income generation for places. But I actually don't shop. This I didn't get here. I don't buy much jewelry, to be honest. But